Hello, I'm Lummer Sunil and welcome back to the channel. This time we're going to add layer functionality to the tilemaps, both in the Tilemap Editor and in the game itself. Now this took a while to actually record and develop, so I've split this up into 3 parts, and here's part 1. Alright, so we're gonna extend the tilemap to have layers. Right now I'm in the SIG game editor code. So what I'm thinking is we will, instead of having these tiles as an array list tile, we want to have a array list of layers that, that's gonna be the layers, and then the top layer would just be corresponding to this tiles here. So well, one of the layers, I guess. So this would be an array list of layer, and we need a new, yes, we can have it here. So this would be, I guess we could call it a tilemap layer. Tilemap layer. And so the layer, I guess they would always have the same size and tile size as the parent. This tiles here. Because this is kind of sort of only being used in the context of this tile map, so things like size and tile size would be derived from the parent here. Okay, so now, yeah, we need to change this part, and I think for the layers, I think I wanna just do this, and then this is like the innermost thing. So I think maybe we can put this here. So we'll have an init with an allocator, and we do need size, and I'm not sure if we need tile size here though. Don't think we need that. And then this would be a layer. Okay, and then we can return tilemap layer, and this would be tiles, just like before. Okay, so that should be that. I realized also what you could do is break this out into a function. So instead, so we could have init tiles, and we could just put this in here, and this would return array list of tiles. Oops. And then instead of breaking here, we do return, and then we also need to get the size and the allocator. So this would be an initialization function for tiles, and now here we could just say init tiles like this instead. Okay. All right, so now we move that over there. Now we can do the same thing here. Well, yeah, we can set this to be array list of tilemap layer, and then we initialize that. And here we actually don't really have a capacity to begin with. I guess we want 1 at least. So let's have 1 of those. And then this would be yeah, catch reachable. Okay. Okay, now for the initialize, I think we, yeah, we need to do this. Let's copy this entire thing, put it up here. So now this is a layer instead, and we do the same thing here. So now we can just say for each layer, we just need to call layer.initialize and bring the allocator as well. There. All right. And these should be the same. Get timeline index, get tile vector. Yeah, so this, yeah. So we actually need to specify which layer we're talking about as well. And I'm not sure how to like identify the layers. Maybe we could have something like an ID. We could go by index. I think for now, because the thing is, if we go by index, that means that whenever you want to rearrange the layers, I mean, okay, so I think what we want to do is we want to have maybe the layers is an array list, because what I'm thinking is the layer functionality is going to be like you have layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, but then you also are able to reorder them so that you can move layer 1 behind layer 2 and so forth, just like you can in, like, for example, GIMP or Photoshop. And I'm thinking the same thing here, and what I'm thinking is how we store this. So I'm thinking that when you rearrange it, you don't really need to rearrange this array list. What you could have instead is have another sort of description of the order, so layer order, and then this could also be an array list of indexes. So this would be an index into the layers, but the issue there is also if you want to delete a layer, then the index is no longer valid potentially for some of the layers. So I think we actually do want to have an ID instead. So we want to generate an ID on a layer. So let's grab an ID here as well. And this, I think this could just be like a U64 or something. You know what? I'm just gonna download a UUID package. So let me fix that. All right, so we have this library called uuid sig. So let me grab that. I have the link to the repository here, and now we use sig fetch -- save and then git plus to actually get the library downloaded, and well, it's marked to be downloaded as well. At least we have it available now in our build.sig, so we need to grab it down here as well. So let's grab that here, uuid dep. Dependency is that. And then you have to add this import to the root module. Import UUID. And the module is going to be uuid dep dot module, and I'm not sure what the name is. I have to look it up in the uuid sig build module, and it's called uuid. So good. So now we should actually have access to that, and I'm not sure about what the type is. Let's see. So I want uuid. Okay, now let's see, is this serializable? This is serialization and deserialization. Okay, and I guess we get an earn, which is serializable, I guess. Oh, so this is just, yeah. So this is what I was looking for, like how long is this UUID, and it's 36 bytes long. I think that's the serialization, serialized version. So for easy serialization and deserialization, I'm just going to keep it like this. And I'm not sure if UUIDs, if this actually has, no, this one is just U128. So the issue here, I would really want, it would be really cool if Sig could support sort of serialization of these kinds of types. I mean, I guess what you could do is make a wrapper. So you could do UUid serializable, and then that is a struct, then you have the UUid here, which is this, and then you have JSON stringify, self, and I guess it's pointing, I'm not sure. And then you have the JW. Okay, and then you would have like, yeah, just write self.uuid. Well, actually, well, yeah, that's it, because it's a U128. It should be serializable. So, well, actually, yeah, it's no, I'm stupid. This would be uuid.earn.serialize self.uuid. So that would be the serialized version. Yeah. And it doesn't require allocator or anything like that. So that's perfect. And then I guess we need to try it as well. And this one, yeah. So that should return just a string, which we write. And then for the JSON parse, we don't have a self. We have the, what do we have? JSON. Let's check this guy, and then here allocator source options. Okay, so we have allocator source options, which is parse options, and oh yeah, and then this should return this type, I believe. So we don't need to allocate anything, so that one can just be here. Okay, and then the source is where you can sort of grab the data that you need. And this is just going to be reading a string. I'm just gonna have to look this up a bit. So we do, yeah, actually it should be quite simple actually. So what you should do is you say we're gonna get the string here, and that's gonna be JSON and then parse from token source leaky, and then this is going to be the earn type, no, UUid earn.earn. So this is going to be like a 36, so it's gonna also, yeah, it has a set length as well. And now we can just specify the allocator, scanner or reader is the source, and the options we can just pass down the options. Okay, so there we have the string. Now we can simply return UUid serializable, and then this is going to be the string, except we do UUid and then we do earn, and then we do deserialize, and then we do string. Right, there we go. And then we actually don't really need this string anymore. So what we could do is free it. Yeah, we could actually free it after we've deserialized it. Well, except that it's not actually a pointer, it's just an array. I don't think we actually need to deserialize it. Yeah, we just need to return this, I think. Okay, so now we created this type, which is a uuid serializable. Let's store that in here. Okay. There we go. And now we can import uuid.sig here, and we can also do this, and this is a uuid now. Okay, and now this one, when we initialize it, we're creating a whole new thing. So this one, I think what we need to do is we need to actually have an init function here. And we return this with this set to uuid dot, and we'll grab, I guess, version this one and new, and that should be good. All right, and then this we can say init here. All right, so now we're spawning a new ID for each layer. Now we can use that to actually identify which layer we're talking about, and the order now could be uuid instead. Okay, and now I believe what you could do here, so let's go back to this, and we will do this. And what I want to do is I want to return this list. Oops. But I also want to append a new tilemap layer that I want to initialize with the size as well, and this will be also catch unreachable. Okay, so I believe what this will do is it will change the slice that's in here, or it will not actually change the slice since we already have a capacity of 1. So it will probably not change the slice, I'm not sure. But either way, if it does change the slice, then when we return here, it should keep all of the sort of configuration of this array list intact. So we should be able to do this without worrying about copying the wrong thing or something like that, or losing any reference or something like that. Okay, just need to make sure that that all works. Okay, so right, so now we go back down here, and when we actually want to get the tile now, you can either, I think what we want to do is we want to copy these functions and put them in the tilemap as well. Well, not the tilemap, the tilemap layer. And here this should work like we have before. We just need to change these types here. But I also want these functions down here, but here we actually provide a layer ID as well. So we grab the layer ID, and then we should probably have like get layer by ID. Layer ID. And then this would return a tilemap layer. Let's actually do pointer, and then this would be self layers, and then we just do a lookup here. So we will do, actually, since we can use let's see, we could use maybe we can use mem to find this. So, well, actually no. What we need to do is we need to loop through each one. So we need to loop through the layers, items, and we get the layer there, and then we just check if layer. So since this, all right, now that's the nice thing about this, is not actually a string. So this is actually now a u128, and for that we can just use a normal equal operation, I believe. So what we could do is we could just say if the layer ID is equal to the layer ID, then we simply return self layers. Well, yeah, we simply return the layer, and we need this to be a pointer. But if we don't get the layer, I guess this would be a nullable. So if we don't find it, then we return null. Okay, so this now means that we can say self.getLayer by ID, which means that this should also be nullable, I guess. So then that would be the ID, unless we just wanna, let's just make it nullable, and then the caller can decide what to do with the error. Okay, so yeah, and yeah, I guess, yeah, this would be the layer, or else return null. So if this means that if the result of this is null, then we do this branch basically. So we return null. So if we're down here, that means we know that we have the layer, and then we can use it like this. Okay, and then we need to do the same thing down here, and this is just for convenience, these functions. You pass in the ID and you get a nullable, and instead of self here we do layer, and this one could actually do get index like that. All right, I took a little break there, so let's get back into it here. We just added layer ID versions of these functions. So okay, now I think we basically got this basic thing here. I think we want to add some convenience functions like add layer and stuff like that. So let's just do that. Let's do add layer. And yeah, I mean, I guess this would just return a layer here. And we'll do layer, well, self.layer.append, or layers append. I was just checking if there's a version of this that gets you the, oh, I need the allocator as well. Okay, maybe, yeah, let's just do it like this. Okay, so then the item, yeah, this is going to be a new tilemap layer, so let's do initialize, and this will be self.size. Okay, and then we can return the last, yeah, I need to get the last one like this. It's annoying that there's no get last version that gets you like the pointer to the thing. And maybe there is, but haven't found it. Okay. Anyway, let's just do it like this. So that's how to add a layer, and now we need something to remove the layer as well. Oh yeah, and let's just add this first, and we will. Yeah, let's grab the allocator because we might need to deallocate this as well. So now we actually need an uuid here. Oh yeah, and this is also catch reachable. Okay, so now this is, we need to get the index of the layer. So get layer by ID, but I want to get the index as well. So let's do this like this. Get layer index by ID. And this would return the index. So let's do it like this. Okay, and this would be usize, nullable usize. All right, now I can actually rewrite this to get the index instead. So get layer index by ID, or else return null, and then we can just return self layers items index. There we go. All right. And now we can do index is going to be self get layer index, and we provide ID. If we don't find the index, I think we just return because it's already gone. We might want to have some sort of error handling here, but I'm just not gonna bother with that for now. And then what you do is you say layers, and on the array list there's a function called, you could do swap remove, which is a fast way of removing from a list. So it basically removes the element and the empty slot is filled with the end of the list. So it's basically copying once. Well, I guess if it's a really large but the item, but the thing is the other way of doing it is called an ordered remove, which actually reorders the entire, you have to like copy the entire list below this index. So swap remove is way faster, so let's just do that. It's not gonna be that much of a bottleneck here anyway, so yeah. And then the allocator is not needed here, so let's just get rid of that. Okay, so yeah, so now we have add layer, remove layer. However, we also need to manage, oh, what's this? Layer ID. So this needs to be self layers items .id instead. There we go. So this layer order needs to be managed, because what I'm thinking is when you switch order of stuff, you just change the order of this. Yeah, the order of this list instead of changing the order of this list is what I'm thinking. Because what I'm thinking is maybe if this was a pointer, then it would be way easier to actually reorder those instead of having a separate thing that you have to manage. Yeah, I think I'll try that first. I mean, you still want to have UUIDs because you want to be able to refer to the layer somehow, especially when we serialize. Yeah, so let's get rid of this, I think. And then the layers, so this would actually be, we need to create the layer like this, the pointer. I need to use create, and this is a tilemap layer. All right, and then we append, then we can just say fill this with this, and then we append you with the layer pointer now instead. So now this layer well, okay, let's do catch unreachable here. So now this is a pointer that's allocated, and within the pointer we fill it with this data. Okay, and then we append with the pointer instead here. So now this is a list of pointers, and it's going to be much easier to rearrange them. And we do need helper functions for that as well. But I just want to go through here and see what we need to fix here. I don't think we need to change anything here. This is going to be a pointer. Well, actually, yeah, this is the deinit. So this we actually do need to change here. So we deinitialize, and then we also need to call destroy on the layer itself, because yeah, we call create and then you have to call destroy. Okay, let's go through here and see. I don't think we need to change much else actually, since sig handles dereferencing automatically in most cases. But let's just check for that. Okay. There was one place, yeah, here. So we don't actually need to do this now. Just need to do that. And now we can actually say get last here, because yeah, it's now it's actually a tilemap layer pointer that we return here. So that should work. Okay. Does this have an error? No. Okay, and we do want convenience function for reordering as well. What I'm thinking is, I mean, I'm thinking about the UI, and either you want to have like, yeah, drag and drop would be ideal, because then you can just use drag and drop. Yeah. And then you basically want to have a function that basically swaps or inserts, like you remove one, you remove index something and then you put it into index something and basically push everything away. So if you remove something from index 3 and put it into index 0, you take the fourth element and pushes it to the top. So let's go to, but I haven't done anything drag and drop here, but supposedly it's going to be, yeah, it's a built-in support in GUI for that. So let's go to our layout. We still, yeah, so what we also need to do is we need to fix the draw function to handle the new format here. So here's the tile map, and we go through the size, and so we actually need to fix so that it can draw these layers now. So let's, we're going through each, so I'm thinking we should probably just add another for loop. Well, we have the index, the tile we don't have, so the tile we need to go through each layer. So here's the layer. So let's put that over there. Okay. And now the layer has the tiles instead. Let's check if there's anything else. Yeah, we have the tile set. So I think that should be it actually. Yeah. And if we run this now, we should actually, it should crash, since the old version does not work with the new version. And I'm not sure if I added a guard for that. Let's see. Okay, we got some issues here. No dependency named uuid sync. Okay. So what is it called? Only uuid? Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Okay, so we have a bunch of errors that we need to go through. Right, this one. Okay, so yeah, so this needs to be a var. Here. This list. Oh, yeah, we need to change that. Okay. Oh yeah, we changed to get tile as well. Oh, so we have issues here as well. So let's go through here. This one, oh, it's. Let's just. Well, actually, since this. Yeah, we can use to that. Okay. Right, so this needs to be pointer, I guess, like this. And this also is could be an error, so let's do try. Okay. Okay, so JSON parse. Wait. Expected. Are you saying that this cannot be? No, this is JSON parse. Are you saying that this is not? Yeah, this returns at. Oh, I see. I cannot do a try here because, yeah, this error is not a parse error, I guess. So, yeah, this is malformed. So, if we have an error, I guess we want to do a new uuid, maybe. Which will mess up stuff. So this actually we wanna maybe just return a malformed. Like you could probably do JSON parse error, and then wait, what's happening here? Parse from value error. Invalid, like something, yeah, length mismatch maybe. I mean, I guess we overflow, out of memory, unknown field, missing field, invalid number. I mean, I guess unexpected token maybe. Invalid character. Yeah, I guess invalid character. Yeah, I don't know. Let's try that. Okay. No? Is it still an issue here? No. Okay, so let's look at what else we have. Right, so now this one on use. Yeah, so the thing is here that we want to have like a it's like an active. We wanna, in our context, we wanna have like an active layer. Right. Maybe that's in the file data. No. That's like editor session. Because yeah, I've been thinking about having more functionality that gets sort of baked into the state of the file itself. So for example, the history, like the undo redo history, which I have not implemented yet, but it's going to be something like I'm contemplating whether or not that should be part of the file itself. So that's why I'm thinking like maybe active layer should be part of the file itself, since that's going to be a state that's going to be changed by undo redo. So I'm thinking like maybe almost everything that you do to change the state of the file is going to be an undo redo type thing. So even, yeah, I mean obviously add layer, remove layer, those things are going to have to be, when undo redo is implemented, those things going to have to be part of that system as well. So you're going to have to create like actions, undoable actions that change the data. So I have not figured out exactly how to do that yet. I mean, I guess for now we could just put the active layer down here and then we can move it into the file data, or we can put it here right now. I guess we could put it in the tilemap itself, active layer, and that could just be a pointer, I guess. Well, actually it should not be a pointer, it should actually be maybe an ID then. So we'll have the active layer as an ID, and then we can have a convenience function, I guess, to get the active layer. Yeah, get active layer, and this would return a tilemap layer. And for this one, we basically always have one, since we start with one, and I think we want to prevent also to not be able to remove the last one. So you always have one layer. But anyway, oh yeah, maybe we should add like a clear layer function. Okay, let's just do this. So this is going to be return self get layer by ID, and it's going to be active layer, and then we just assume that it exists. Okay, so now we can get the active layer, and then we go to, okay, yeah, so we need to put it here as well. Oh, and then, okay, so what we should do is let's make this tilemap like this, return it, and we also set active layer to be tilemap.layers item 0.id. Alright, that should be good, and then we just set this to undefined. Okay. Alright, so now we're back here. So get tile. So this one we do get actually yeah, let's just get the layer here, get active layer, then we can do layer get tile, And yeah, we should do the same thing down here. Okay. Get tile. Oh, get index. Oh, yeah, we do need that as well. Let's just copy these so they're available here as well. No field. Remember, oh, this needs to be a tilemap layer. Okay. What else do we have? Width. All right. Ooh, that's a bummer. Actually, you know what? Let's actually have these. Well, actually, no. So this won't really work. I think we actually do need to copy the size as well to the layers. I mean, it's probably good as well because in the future may want to have like a size and offset for the layer as well, so you can sort of make a smaller layer and move it around if you want. So let's actually just put the vector here and the size. Yeah. Now this guy we don't actually need to. Oh yeah, we do. Wait. Init tiles. Oh yeah, that should be there. Okay. And we don't have width. Yeah. So let's copy those as well. We should maybe put that into a separate struct, maybe. Like grid or something, and the grid can have a size and a tile size, I guess. We don't really need a tile size for everything, I guess, but no, let's just do that, and then we have a grid instead. Okay, and then the grid is going to be let's grab the size. Okay, so that's the grid. Then down here we do self.grid.width. Yeah. We could also do like get index in the grid as well, so the grid has this function. So that's actually what I was thinking about. So this would be grid, yeah, and then this would be self. There we go. Okay, and index. This would be self.grid get index. Okay, and now instead of size here we have a grid, which is a grid, and then here we have a grid, and we do grid.inSize. All right, and then I guess, I mean, we could probably have these as convenience functions. Grid height. Okay, and these ones I can remove now. Okay. Self, and this should be grid. Actually, we could probably move this to grid. Or, yeah, implement it in grid and then like that. And then this is a grid. And then this is self dot there. And then this would simply return self dot grid is out of bounds. Good position. There we go. All right. What else? Yeah. So here now, this would be grid dot size. Okay, here we go. And now this would be grid. Get index. So we don't really need to get the index, I don't think. Since we just want the tile, we just want to get the tile. So this would just be tilemap get the tile. And ID, well, actually, no, it's the layer get tile. Yeah, layer get tile. Let's do get tile XY. Yeah, and then this is just this. Yeah. Okay. So this is by XY. And then this is XY. And then we don't need you. Okay. What else? Oh, I see. So it's not allowed for this type. Oh yeah, now it's serializable. So what we need to do is we need to say dot uuid is equal to dot uuid. That should work, right? Yeah. Great. Okay, what do we have here? We have layers. Oh yeah, so this should be like that, right? Okay. And here, okay, so it says that cast a card discards const qualifier. Ah, so this needs to be a const. I mean, it makes sense. It's not supposed to be changed while stringifying it. All right, there we go. So now we have no more compiler errors, at least. Probably a bit different from the runtime. So let's try and start this up. Okay, we get an error when running. Yeah. So yeah, so we do get the JSON error when loading the document. So let's go to where is that happening? I think restore session. We open the file. We do a JSON read. So this is where it actually goes wrong. So what I'm thinking here is that instead of trying to read the thing and crash when you can't read the session, wait, the session should not be the problem. Is it this one that's the issue? Yeah, it's this one, I think. Yeah, when we try to deserialize the file data. So I think what you want to do is maybe show some sort of error message, maybe that shows that you couldn't open this file instead. But that's going to be added to the to-do list. But yeah. So what I'm thinking is instead I'm just gonna edit the session and say that this is going to be null. Okay. We run this again and we crash again. Okay, so what's the issue now? The layout function, segmentation fault. This is like some old school debugging stuff. We have to do this hunt. I mean, what you could do is just, oops, I pressed it twice. Okay, so we did not get over there. Interesting. Oh, this might be it, maybe. I mean, that should all be fine. Okay, if we see 2 of these logs, that means we've made it past. If we see 1, that means we're crashing at size equals, and we only see 1, so it's maybe because of this that. So is it the file data that's not initialized properly then? Okay, so let's head over to context. Maybe we should have like a sanity check thing going on. So what happened if we have a current file name? If we don't have a current file name, we want to run new file, right? Yeah. Okay, so maybe that was the issue. I thought that we were in a... Okay, there we go. Alright, so now we can see the editor here. Okay, so it works now. Let's try and make a new file with this new format. Okay, let's save it. New format. Okay, let's quit and oops. No. Relaunch it here. Oh. Okay, something went wrong here. Reached unreachable code. Right. Okay, so let's actually open this file up and see where it landed. So you can see here the ID looks fine, right? Yeah, that actually looks good. So the stringify worked. The parse does not work. Not sure why. So there was some error reading the string. So wait, there was an error deserializing the string, or was an error reading the string? String equals try, yeah. Yeah, so it was an error here. So let's actually do this, and then we catch the error, and then we log this error out. Wait, do we see what the error is? Assert end of document. What? Oh, I see. I know what the issue is. So you can't actually use this function, right? Because I made this mistake before. So you can't use parse from token source because that sort of asserts that you're doing a whole document. So what you need to do is you need to use inner parse. And I believe, I'm not sure, no, not from value. You need to do inner parse. And then you have the type and you have the allocator source option. So everything is the same, except inner parse does not require the whole thing to be a document, or the parsing that you're doing is a document. So it says down there also, it is exposed primarily to enable custom JSON parse methods to call back to the parse from system. Yeah. So that's what we need to do instead. Okay, now we should, oops, what's happening here? Okay, so now, alright, because I need to do try here. There we go. And now let's run this again. And there we go. So now it works. Okay, cool. So now we have like the basic structure of layers that's gonna enable us to draw multiple layers. So what I want to do now is I want to add some UI to this, and I'm not sure where I'll put it. I think I'll just put it below here. So let's do that real quick here. So we should be able to just quickly put it in the menu, like a list of the layers. Oh yeah, and they should probably have a name as well. I forgot about names. Let's add the name first. We'll do layer, and we need a name, and the name, I guess the name could just be this for easy sake here. And we'll get the name from outside here, and we'll put it here. And I think when we deinitialize, should we actually cover the name as well? Yeah, I think so. We'll basically say that when you put a name here, we also free it from inside. There. Okay, and then the tilemap. Yeah, so here we need to pass in a name, and so I think the name in some editors like GIMP, you can't have the same name for each layer, but I think since we have an ID for each layer, I think we can allow that here. So I'm just gonna say layer here. And I guess, I don't know if this will cause this to be the allocator, the free, to be an issue. I don't think so. Hopefully it can deal with read-only memory, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, and now the name, the file. So let's just do this. Let's go to context, and if we fail to open the file, we do not crash. What we do want to do is we want to, like here, what we do is we catch the error, we log the error and say error reading file, and then the error itself. So the file is going to be file name and then the error, and then what we want to do is we basically want to return this, I guess. Yeah, since we don't actually want to set the file name stuff, what we want to do is we want to do new file, and we want to, I'm not sure if you can do try here actually, and then we just want to return, I guess we can just return new file maybe. Okay, so now if there is an issue, it's gonna log it. So now we should see it in the log here, and here we can see error reading file, missing field, yeah. And here comes the layer debug messages that we got as well. So let's get rid of those. Oh, got a whole bunch of these. File data should be, yeah. Let's remove those. Okay, so cool. So we've got that. Now let's go back to the layout function. And yeah, in the main menu here, we have a separated text. Let's add a new section for layers. And then we call the layers menu. So let's go to our furthest one here. So let's do layers menu, and we want to have the context as well. Okay. Now, so in here, we basically, what we want is, we want a draggable list, but I think for now we can just have like that text. So text for label or whatever. So let's just do text, and the format's just gonna be this, and then the args is just gonna be the file data, tilemap, get active layer, and name. Well, that's the active layer. I guess what we want to do is we wanna for file data layers items, and oops, we want to do this, so we want to do layer.name. Okay, so now we should see that popping up. There we go. There's our layer, our main layer there. Now we also want to add like a button to add new layers. I guess what we could have like a mini toolbar here with buttons to do that, like a plus button maybe. So let's add that. Let's do. Is there a way to like begin menu group? I'm not sure what this does. Let's do button, and we'll just do plus button arguments. Let's do like, I don't know, 32. And if the button is pressed, then we can call context file data tilemap add layer. There. And oh yeah, we also get the actual layer there, but we don't need it. Let's see what that does. Okay, there's an issue somewhere. Oh, add layer. Okay. Oh, now we need a name as well. So let's just do layer, I guess. Or I guess we could put the name here. Name. Is it name first or? Yeah. Okay, and now we can put the name there. And maybe in the future we'll have some sort of dialogue that where you can choose different options for the layers, but let's just do that for now. Okay, now let's see if we can run. No, we got some more issues. No field name size. Oh yeah, this is grid.size. Okay, expected that found. Oh yeah. So we need to create a new tilemap pointer here. So this would be allocator create tilemap layer, and then the tilemap is going to be this part, and then we append that. And we do not try, we do attach. There we go. Okay. Yeah, and oh yeah, and when we remove a layer, we actually also want to grab it here and deinitialize it. Oh yeah, so we do need allocator here. And we do need to allocator destroy the tilemap. There we go. So Then we remove it completely from the memory there. Okay. No more issues. Let's go. Okay, so now we got a plus button. We press it and we add a layer. Cool. Now I think, well, we do want to be able to select the active layer, and we want to be able to remove the layer. So let's add the remove layer first. And that should be like a button on each thing. I'm just gonna try this group thing because I'm not sure what it does. Let's add another button here. See what that does. Okay, so it's still like in the same, like it's still like not inline, I guess. I'm not sure what this group does. Let's get rid of that. Here we want to keep this on the same line, and but I want to have this on the right side. Okay, so you basically have to calculate the position yourself. So you want to do, I think, offset from start x. So basically you want to do window width, and then this is F32, yeah. And then you want to do minus the size of the button, which I guess will be 32 now. I think 32 is a bit big, so let's do like let's do 24. Okay, 24, and so that's now the offset from start. And now we can add another button, which is going to be a minus button, and then we can call remove layer now, and the layer that we want to remove is going to be layer.id. No, it's just layer.id. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so we have this layer here. I'm not gonna try and remove that. Okay, it did not do anything. And now it crashes. Okay, and there we got some funky stuff happening. So, interesting.